Okay, so for this section, we're going to actually convert our fractions into percentages. So if we look here, it says the free throw ratios of 3 basketball players are shown. So we have player 1 has 17 out of the 25 shots were made. And then player 2 had 33 out of the 50 shots made. And player 3 had 14 out of the 20 shots made. So we're going to rewrite each ratio as a number compared to 100. So we're going to find an equivalent fraction or an equivalent ratio to the given ratio that we have. Then we're going to shade the grid to represent the free throw ratio. So for example, player 1 had 17/25, and we have it equal to 100. This is the same way as how we've been writing our ratios all week. But now we're comparing it to be an equivalent fraction to 100 in the denominator. Well, the reason why we have 100 is because we're writing it as a percentage. Anytime we have a percentage, it's always out of 100. So we need to convert this ratio into having the denominator as 100 so that the percentage is easier to write out and demonstrate on the grid. So you are going to write this out on either a whiteboard or a paper, and you will show your work on slide 5. Okay, so for example, your work for player 1, player 2, and player 3 will be shown on slide 5. So in this case here, I'm going to show my work for 17/25 right here. That way you understand that it needs to be on this page. So on my whiteboard or piece of paper, I would write 17/25. I'm then going to have it equal to 100, the same way we set it up all the time. Okay, now I need to figure out what can I do to change my 25 into the equivalent fraction of 100. Well, I can either multiply or divide when I am writing equivalent ratios or fractions here. So I know that 25 times 4 is 100. So I need to make it into a whole number and make it as 4/4. Now I can multiply 17 times 4. That gives me 68. So this is my work for player 1. It is 68 hundredths. Okay. Now I'm going to go back here and I could type in 68 over 100. Then I need to model this onto the grid. So I have included some circles here that you can copy and paste and put here to represent 68. I also have included rectangles. That way it just covers the whole 10 um, boxes across. So I could just do 10 and I can copy this and keep going. Or I can make my own shapes if I want. Go to the top where it says shape, go to shapes, click on the rectangle or circle that you want. So I could just do, since I know it's 68, I know it's 10 across. So I would do 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So I am just going to go ahead and choose the rectangular shape here and highlight this as 10. And then I could change the color. So there's my 10. This might be easier than copying and pasting this because I know some of you have a hard time taking this and copying it, but I'm giving you options. So that's 10. Here is going to be 20. Then let's see, let me change it. I'm going to change it into a different color. That way, I can see that you're doing different rows of 10 and it won't look like one blob. Because if it is all together, look, it's hard for me to tell how many boxes are really highlighted. So 10, 20, I'm going to use this, 30, I'm going to copy it and then just change the color. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, change the color, and then 60. So that shows that I have 60 on here. Okay, but I need to get to 68%. So 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, oops, and then 68. I'm just copying and pasting these. Again, if you want to make your own, just go to shape. I'm sorry, the circle and square, shapes, and then choose your circle. And then I can click it and make it here, and then choose the color that I want for that circle, of whatever the case may be. You are then going to do the same thing for players 2 and 3. Remember, I need to see your work for this. So in order to get credit for it, I need to see your work for all players on slide 5.